is Nick Kunith, and I graduated from Northland in 2012.
My name's Jake McGinnis. I'll be graduating. I guess I'm done with classes in like a week now, but I'm graduating technically in this May, so 2014.
My name is Betsy Nichols, and I am going to graduate in 2017.
I graduated as a major in Native American Studies and then a minor in Sociology and Social Justice and Environmental Studies.
My degree's in writing, a BA in writing, and I'll have minors in English and Environmental Studies.
Undecided.
Yeah, I mean, I first found out about Northland, and the reason I really applied to Northland is because they had a Native American Studies program, and I didn't know what I wanted to do or where I wanted to go to college. I started doing kind of more primitive skill stuff and had definitely a more romanticized, different idea of what Native American Studies was when I was looking for it, but as I got into it, that's why I kind of geared more towards sociology and social justice, and I initially came in, they had a major that was outdoor education with an emphasis in Native American Studies. So that's where I initially came, and then kind of switched things around.
Yeah, actually it was. I came to Northland because I was interested in the writing program, and I sort of thought about it, I guess, a lot here. And there were like, I don't know, at one point I was considering like 7 different majors because I was excited about stuff. And I don't know, I thought about double majoring for a while. My commitment to writing never really wavered, but you sort of wonder like what else can I do at the same time, or what can I do that supplements a writing career and sort of inspires me, I guess, to write. That's sort of a simplified view, but I came back to writing and English, I guess.
No, I came here thinking that I was going to major in outdoor education, but I don't know if it's for me. I'm looking at a degree in dual engineering, so then maybe I would go to another school to finish up my engineering degree. I don't know.
Since graduation, that summer I worked for Living Adventure, which is a kayak guiding company out of Bayfield. And I did that for my junior and senior summer, and then about in August I started working in the admissions office. So since August of 2012 I've been doing the admissions stuff, and I really enjoy it. It was really a great way to stay in the area. I love it up here, so it was really a win-win as far as being able to work for Northland, somewhere I believe in, and be able to stay up here for a while and kind of plan that next move.
Well, like we were just talking, I'm going out to the University of Idaho. I'm not taking a class in May. I think I said that, and I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I'm probably going to end up going on a long Boundary Waters trip. I sort of was thinking of going with a friend, but I'll probably end up going by myself. That depends on the ice out, obviously. But, just me and the dog up there. And then, I don't know, I'm going to fish too. I love the Brule, and the Brule is awesome in May. So I'm going to spend some time on the Boyd Brule. I already have spent some time on the Boyd Brule this spring. But, and then I start working in June. I have a week off after graduation that I still don't know what I'm going to do with. I don't have any definite plans. But then I'm working with the Nature Conservancy down in Madison for 10 weeks with the philanthropy team. That's just a regular internship. It's kind of cool, actually. There's a neat Northland connection with our board of trustees, and I'm not going to remember the title of the Nature Conservancy. Like the board of directors, there's some cross-pollination there. It's kind of cool. But I'll be down there for 10 weeks, and then in August I move out to Idaho, so for 2 years. And then what's next after that, I suppose?
I don't know. I just did a 5-year plan for my Foundations and Principles of Outdoor Education class, and it was a lot less scary than I thought it would be. And so it actually got me a little bit excited again about different jobs in the field of outdoor education. So maybe I could do something like that. Or I love numbers, so maybe engineering is for me, or a different career in numbers. I don't know.
I mean, I think it's hard to say because you only get one freshman year, and you only get that first college experience. So it's never going to be. It's always going to be have things like, oh, what if I did it differently? What would have happened? But I really think Spirit Connections was great for me. You got to. For me, it really immersed me in this area. I mean, that's really the whole point of the program, is to focus on the Schwalming Bay and Lake Superior. And I'd never really been up here or seen Lake Superior before starting Spirit Connections, and like now I still read history books like about the islands and about this area. Like, it really did a lot for me to kind of ground me in this place, and really it does its goal as far as synthetic learning and being able to look at a place and understand that it's not just about jobs when people are talking about mining or whatever, and any problem you're looking at definitely is able to be applied to the framework that they came up with to do the Spirit Connections program. Yeah, I mean, it was really great. The only downside, and it's not even really a downside because you can break out of it, is it's easy to stay in your little SoupCon family and kind of not get some of the same friendship forming, so especially in those first couple weeks that I think maybe other students get. And I mean, Northland's different in its size in general, but when you have already that group of people that you went on your orientation trip with and you're going to have class together, it's easy just to kind of stick to that. And I was able to break free and make other friends, but it definitely maybe took a little bit longer than other students, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. While I came to Northland, really I wouldn't say because of Superior Connections. A whole bunch of things sort of coalesced to bring me to Northland, and I was quite confident in my decision by the time I was a junior in high school. But so my parents both went to college at Madison, and I grew up hearing these horror stories of freshman classes with 600 students, and you don't know anybody, and it's horrifyingly hard and not what you're interested in. You just have to do it. And I came to Northland partly because Superior Connections was exactly the opposite of that. Superior Connections, you're very immersed. I already knew Lake Superior. I already loved Lake Superior. I'd camped and fished and paddled on the lake already. And I knew that if I was studying Lake Superior for all those awful freshman classes, that I would remain engaged the whole time. And I did. I took a math class. I despise math with a passion, but I was still interested because it was relating to the lake. So having that sort of, bond really helped me get through what I thought would be the hardest time of my Northland career. Looking back on it now, is probably the best part of my Northland career. I wasn't working as much. I had a little more fun, whereas now I maybe go out and play once on the weekend, but the rest of the time I'm always doing stuff for school. But yeah, it was extremely positive. And my first trip, I went around the lake as a freshman, obviously, and that was a really sort of, a personal journey. It always seems to be, and that's really vague and difficult to understand, but it was one of those things where I spent a lot of time deciding who I am, how I relate to other people, and what I want, out of the rest of my Northland career. And then I went around again as a teaching assistant with Alan as a sophomore, and that was really, sort of the same way. It reaffirmed who I am and how I relate to people. And it also sort of helped me decide, these are my interests. I'm quite confident in those. I've always been confident in those. And this is what I can do with them. And I don't know, that's kind of what led me to teaching and to, frankly, to studying English from an environmental lens.
Cool. It definitely helped me make friends. I'm really shy, and so being in a group of 19 other people who you have at least one thing in common with is really helpful. And I was just a lot more comfortable in my classes because I came in here and I already knew everyone. A negative thing, you do get sick of each other sometimes, and also if I do end up doing engineering, I'm kind of already behind on coursework, but that's not really a SoupCon thing because when I came here, engineering wasn't really on my radar, so I probably wouldn't have taken any classes that would have helped me anyways, even if I wasn't in SoupCon, so that.
Yeah. Defining. May term, definitely. I mean, May term as a whole, like the circumnavigation trip, but one moment specifically, or kind of a day, was when we camped at Hattie Cove, and that's on the northeast, side of the lake by Marathon, and it was just like the most beautiful area ever here, because we're in there in May before other people are camping. You're kind of there on your own, and it just has the most picturesque, like little horseshoe bay, and we had a layover day there, so we had all day to kind of explore and hang out on these rocks, and it was just a great moment just to kind of reflect about everything and hang out there with some of the people that are really like family, and that's what's pretty interesting about Spirit Connections is, I feel really close to a lot of the people that were in that cohort with me, even though we don't necessarily talk all the time or, very frequently. Sometimes, but we still had a lot of these, that whole first year and a half together, and really, that's such a huge part in, defining who you are as that freshman year of college for sure. But yeah, that day at Hattie Cove was pretty special.
I really distinctly remember the wigwam on my first circumnav trip, and pulling back the mat outside that wigwam and going inside. And really, I remember the whole Fort William experience as just this sort of like otherworldly thing. But I felt the same thing, even probably a little more powerfully, because, I don't know, the Fort William's really cool, but it also is a tourist thing, like very obviously. And no one's there when the SoupCon group is there, but it's still, you can tell that it's like a tourist park sort of place. And it's a historical tourist park, so it kind of speaks to my interests. But but when we went to Grand Portage when I was a freshman, I just remember like looking out on that bay and looking up at the headlands. And I don't know if you've ever been up there, but like the lake is right here. It's super clear. It's super rocky. And if you showed someone a picture, they'd probably assume that it's like Alaska or British Columbia. It doesn't look like Minnesota at all. And then if you look up at these hills and just think of all the people that climbed those big, snaggly hills with like unholy amounts of weight, like 180 pounds, like there and back, and like the big revelries afterwards, and like the whole nexus of the fur trade in that period of time right there, and that really distinct connection between, Europe really, but France in particular, and then like the bush, everything northwest Ontario. That's so interesting to me. And I really love Grand Portage. It's probably my single favorite place around the lake. And I guess it's not a very exciting moment, but I just so distinctly remember like going away from everybody else, walking down to the shore, and looking up at that headland and out on the lake, and you can see some of the islands, and I don't know, it was kind of misty and foggy too, so it was sort of the right mood to dream about ghosts and that sort of thing. And yeah, it was very interesting.
One defining moment from my year is definitely Book Across the Bay. I did it with Nicole Mitchell, and we were on the Washburn coast, and so we're like more than halfway done, and it's really cold, and your shoes are rubbing you the wrong way, and you just want to be done. And I look to my left, and I see all these, rocks, like the cliffs, like the shoreline of Washburn. And I realized that I had paddled there in the fall with the rest of the SoupCon gang on our OO trip, and that was really exciting for me because it made me think about all the changes that the lake had gone through in such a short amount of time, and then that made me reflect on all the changes that I had gone through in a short amount of time.
I don't know. I mean, they're definitely changing. I'm still not 100% sure what I want to do or where I want to end up, but you got to see a lot of different ways that people found their way, or different jobs, and whether that's the professors that you're interacting with, or all the different places you got to go on field trips to see what other people are doing in this area. And I don't know if this area is where I'm going to spend the rest of my life. I definitely maybe would retire up here, but it definitely was really cool to meet some of the people that we met and the way they impacted the students. And I don't know if I want to be a professor or if, the admissions thing is something I'll be able to do forever, but being able to work with folks that were like me, not really sure what they wanted to do, or be able just to do that was pretty cool.
I guess I sort of circled back to the same things that I've always thought. I knew that I was interested in teaching, but I'm frankly not particularly interested in like high school teaching, at least not in a traditional public high school. Maybe a private high school, but I don't know, we'll see where I end up. But I guess in terms of personal goals, I've really affirmed that I need like a lot of time by myself. And it's odd that, well, maybe not that odd, that Superior Connections would teach you that. I mean, when you spend, May especially, like you're with these people all the time. And like I have some really awesome friends, like most of my closest friends are still from my cohort with Superior Connections. But like there were times when, and I realize now that like I was so incredibly like depressed on my first May term time. And it was because I was just with these people all the time. Like I ate with them, I slept with them, I rode around the car with them, I did everything with them. And I remember our last night in Canada, we were staying at this big provincial campground. It's pretty, but it's like 150 sites. It's called Pancake Bay. And I remember I just walked around by myself for like 3 hours, and I guess I sort of realized that I need that sort of quiet and that space to think, and I don't know, maybe I'm a little different in that regard. But yeah, and in terms of professional goals, I guess I sort of lost the maybe not lost, but realize that it is an entirely romantic dream that I want to be just a writer. And when I came to Northland, that's what I wanted to do. And it is, I guess, sort of still what I want to do, but you have to wake up to that sort of stuff, Like you can be a poet in the woods by yourself if you want, and that would be awesome, but I don't know. You also have to sort of realize that as much as I want to be alone, other people are important too.
My goals changed a lot because when I first came to school, all of my goals were really concrete. Like I knew, okay, I wanted to get this degree, and then I want to go work here for a year, and I want to live here. And as I started taking classes and I started to be more in tune with what I want and what I need, really more of what I need. I realized that I can't make plans like that. Really, my goal right now, as much as I love to know what I'm planning for and what I need to get done, my number one priority right now is to be happy. Happy with myself, happy when I get up in the morning, happy with the classes that I take. And so then once I can check all those little bullet points off my happiness list, then I think hopefully my career plans will fall into place, and then I'll be happy with where I end up.